Okay, so we all know the NSA gathers intelligence, right? That's what they do.
Right.
But what happens when you add in artificial intelligence?
Hmm.
That's what we're going to be looking at today in this deep dive, the world of the NSA's AI capabilities.
You know, it's interesting when you look at the NSA,
Yeah.
they publicly say that they're leaders in AI. They've got all these presentations and things like that. But when you really start digging into the specifics of what they're doing with AI, you just hit this wall.
Yeah, they're like, we're awesome at AI, but they won't show us anything.
Right.
What are they using AI for?
Well, according to some of the reports, they're using AI to keep track of foreign governments,
Okay.
which, I guess that makes sense.
Right.
They're also using AI to try to detect cyber threats.
Oh.
So think like, bad code trying to get into systems or predicting attacks before they happen.
Right.
But they're also using AI to monitor their own staff.
Wait, they're spying on their own employees?
Well, that's what it sounds like.
With AI?
Yeah, it makes you wonder.
Yeah. That does seem
It does raise some questions.
a little bit Orwellian.
Yeah.
So, they're very quick to point out where their AI has been successful.
Sure.
But what about the failures?
Well.
The sources mention that, domestic terrorism is still a huge problem.
Mm-hmm.
Even with all the data that the NSA has and all this fancy AI, you think they'd be able to stay ahead of some of these threats?
It seems like there's a blind spot, maybe.
Yeah?
Their AI might be really good at, looking at international communications and data and finding patterns and things like that.
Right.
But maybe when it comes to, homegrown stuff,
Yeah.
they're just not as good at figuring that out.
Well, and the sources even say that a lot of domestic terrorists, they do leave online trails. You would think.
You would think.
This is exactly what AI should be able to pick up on.
And that's where AI has limitations, because these systems are only as good as the data they're trained on, and the questions are designed to answer.
Yeah.
You could have the best algorithm in the world,
Right.
but if it's not trained to look for certain things, it's going to miss things.
So their AI might be really powerful.
Yeah.
But when it comes to domestic threats, it seems like there are some serious questions about how effective it really is.
I think so. It's not just an MSA problem, though,
Right.
It's kind of a problem with AI in general.
Yeah.
AI is usually designed to do one specific thing really well,
Okay.
but that means sometimes it can miss the bigger picture.
So it's kind of like a microscope.
Yeah.
It can zoom way in, but it might miss what's happening outside that little area.
Exactly. And when you're trying to figure out what people are going to do,
Yeah.
you need to see the bigger picture.
Right, because this isn't just about, the NSA missing some piece of intel or whatever.
Yeah.
This lack of transparency with their AI brings up some pretty big questions
Yeah.
about our civil liberties.
Exactly. We've already seen what happens when you have biased data
Right.
or bad algorithms. It can lead to people being unfairly targeted. And if that happens with the NSA, with the amount of data they have,
Yeah.
it could have huge consequences for people.
People could be wrongly arrested
Yeah.
or have problems with immigration or even get investigated by other agencies.
Right. And the NSA is so secretive.
Right.
It makes it even worse because there's really no oversight.
So these AI systems could be making decisions that affect us,
Yeah.
but nobody's really checking to make sure those decisions are fair.
And it's easy to think, well, I'm not doing anything wrong, so who cares?
Right.
But what the NSA does today sets a precedent for how AI and surveillance are going to work in the future for all of us.
So this is about more than just the NSA.
Absolutely.
It's about how we use AI in society and the kind of future we want to live in.
Exactly. The NSA is often at the forefront of technology.
Yeah.
So the stuff they're doing today could easily end up being used by other government agencies
Oh, wow.
and even private companies in a few years.
So are we headed toward a future where AI is watching everything we do
It's definitely a possibility.
and making decisions that affect our lives without us even knowing it?
And that's why it's so important to talk about how to make sure AI is developed responsibly and ethically,
Right.
not just in the NSA, but everywhere.
So how do we balance national security and individual rights in a world where AI is calling the shots?
That is the big question, isn't it?
Okay, so we've been talking about the NSA and AI, and obviously that's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
But this isn't just about the NSA, right?
Right. This is about all of us.
AI is everywhere now.
It really is. It's kind of crazy how fast it's become part of our lives.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. We're interacting with AI all the time,
All the time.
sometimes without even realizing it.
Like those algorithms that decide what shows up on your social media.
Right, or like when you're on a website and you're talking to a chatbot.
Exactly. AI is running behind the scenes in so many places.
And it's only going to get more powerful and more influential.
Which is why we really need to be talking about responsible AI.
Yeah, not just with the NSA, but like everywhere AI is being used.
We have to start thinking about the ethics of all this
Right.
and how to make sure AI is used to help people not hurt them.
Okay. But like, where do we even start?
Well, for one thing,
It all feels so overwhelming.
just being aware of it is a good first step.
Okay.
Like, learn about how AI is being used.
Yeah.
What are the risks? What are the benefits?
Okay.
And don't be afraid to ask questions.
Like, what kind of questions?
Well, like when you come across some AI system, ask yourself, who made this?
Okay.
What data did they use to train it? What is it actually trying to do?
So be a little skeptical.
Yeah, exactly. Don't just assume that everything the AI tells you is true.
Right.
Think for yourself and look for any biases that might be hidden in there.
So basically, we need to become like AI literate.
I like that AI literacy. That's a good way to put it. We need to be able to understand AI and engage with it in a smart way.
And part of that means demanding more transparency
Oh, yeah.
from the companies that are building these systems.
Absolutely. We can't just trust them to do the right thing.
So we got to hold their feet to the fire.
Yeah, ask tough questions, demand to know how their algorithms work.
Yeah.
What are they doing to prevent misuse?
And ultimately, I guess it comes down to using our voices and our votes to support people who are pushing for ethical AI development.
That's right. We have to make sure that AI serves humanity.
Not the other way around.
Exactly.
So to wrap things up, I think the big takeaway here is that the future of AI is not set in stone.
It's true.
We're all shaping it right now with the choices we make,
Every day.
the questions we ask,
Yeah.
and the demands we make of the people in power.
We can choose to build a future where AI makes the world a better place.
A more just and equitable world for everyone.
I hope so.
That's it for this deep dive. Thanks for listening.